guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Elaine Rogers, and I am going to do a detailed synopsis on, bless you. I'm gonna do a detailed synopsis on the medical courier. So it's a PowerPoint presentation. I came before you this way so I can show you my face because I have not figured out how to use my cameras yet in conjunction with showing you the presentation in real time. I'm still working on it, new YouTuber here, so bear with me while I figure it out. And I guess one day next year sometime we could laugh about this video because of the progress we will make together. So thank you for joining me, passive income earners. Let's begin. Okay, so I'll see you in 2 shakes.
So I'm just going to briefly go through the synopsis of becoming a medical courier. We're not going to linger too long on that because I think, beat that horse to death. But the gist of it is you needing 2 certifications, which is your HIPAA certification and your BBP certification, which is your blood-borne pathogen certification. So you should be certified at this point. You obviously need your vehicle and you need it to be a reliable one. So you need a clean driver's record and you need a reliable vehicle. Okay, so certifications checked off, reliable vehicle checked off. And if you have made it to that point, you are now a medical courier. You can file, I don't want to use the word file, but you can apply for employment anywhere that medical couriers are hiring. So if you are part of the Facebook community, you can join a group called Medical Courier Securing Independent Contracts. So that group, in contrast, is in real time. So you guys will see updates in real time. And it's vice versa. If you have information to share that may not be feasible to your life, you can upload that information because it may help someone else. Okay, so again, if you made it to this point, you are eligible to apply for employment as a medical courier. That is your only thing you have to do on your to-do list. Okay, so let's move on to becoming independent. There's more steps required being an independent contractor. An independent contractor, you are a business. And being a business, you have to register your business, but you have to choose the structure in which you are registering your business. So you're choosing between you're choosing between 2 business structures. That's either a sole proprietorship or an LLC. So a sole proprietorship is an unincorporated business belonging to a single owner. The sole business owner is personally responsible for all business assets and liabilities. A sole proprietorship is not a separate legal entity. This means there is no separation between the owner's personal and business asset. Okay, so in a nutshell, being a sole proprietorship is literally in the word sole. You are responsible for all things that happen, and there's no separation from your business and your personal. So all of that is commingling with each other. So in a nutshell, it entails if your business happens to seek any fault, damages, and the other party when you are liable, and if your insurance do not cover this liability, your personal assets will be part of that claim. Okay? Versus a limited liability company. Again, it's in its words, limited liability company. That's a business structure in the United States that protects the assets of its owners from lawsuits and creditors concerned with the company's business debts. Okay, so you're under an umbrella And the analogy I gave for the sole proprietorship, if you are at fault, your company is held liable, and your personal assets is separated from your business assets because that structure is under the umbrella of a business structure. Okay, so those are the two, and those are the difference between the two, so you can choose accordingly. Okay, another thing, when you're registering your business, you have to register your business name with local authorities. You must obtain any required local or state business licenses. Now, I was unaware that I had to register with the state of New York. I had to register something called New York Certificate of Publication Limited Liability Company. Every limited liability company formed or registered to do business in the New York State area must file a certificate of publication with the Department of State upon formation or qualification. And you must file this within 120 days of formation or qualification. Okay, so that one form has a filing fee attached of $50. Again, when you are becoming an independent courier, you have to secure licenses according to the state you live. Okay, so you do not want to run a business and you're making an exuberant amount of money and you feel like you're doing great, and lo and behold, you have a million penalties against you, and now you're paying out more than you bringing in because you did not file proper paperwork. Okay, so I established my business, again, being transparent, with LegalZoom. They are a little pricey. However, sometimes you have to pay to not have a headache. And I rather pay to not have a headache, because I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to read all forms that's required. And even if I do read all forms and licenses that I deem fit for my company, there still may be something that's missing. So I just let the experts be experts, and I pay for services that I need. So again, I use LegalZoom to create my LLC. They're a little pricey. I believe I paid approximately $450, and that entailed a few things, but you can go onto their website and literally put in LLC, and it'll give you the different options for LLC that fits your budget or what you're looking for. Okay, so just a caveat for you guys to think about when forming your LLC. And of course, you can do it all on your own. You can do it for free through the states for $1 million less than $450. But it's up to you, however you choose to do it. Just make sure all of your licenses are submitted properly, accordingly to everyone who needs it. It is required, because you will have penalties galore if you do not file proper paperwork and follow proper procedures. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that out there. Next, we are talking about the formation of your LLC and the necessary insurances that you may need. So you need to secure necessary insurances when you are an independent contractor. So you're a company. You may need to transport hazardous material. So transporting hazardous material may require you to have a driver who has a CDL license. So if you have a truck that's over, I believe, the capacity of 26,000 pounds, that is considered a commercial vehicle. So if you have a commercial vehicle, you would need commercial insurance. Consider liability insurance to protect against potential claims. Obviously, you will have more than a liability insurance. You will have full coverage insurance, because you want to not only consider liability insurance against potential claims, you want to be covered, or you want your drivers to be covered as well. So you have to verify if additional insurance is needed for handling medical specimens or sensitive materials. So again, you have to research and you have to find out. Yes, I have commercial insurance. Yes, I have full coverage, not only liability, but there might be a specific type of insurance per state you're in that you need to attach to that insurance as well. Again, research before you finalize in the area of securing necessary insurance. Okay, so the next portion of this is equipping your vehicle. You must ensure your vehicle meet health and safety standards, i.e. pass inspection, and you have to install secure storage for medical supplies and specimens. And you want to equip the vehicle with GPS if needed. So most of the newer model vehicles have GPS systems in the car already. So obviously you want to put that tracking system in the car so your driver can get to hospital A and hospital B within the specific time needed to transport these materials. Okay, so the type of bags that may be needed is specimen transport bags. They're insulated and leak proof for transporting blood, urine, or tissue samples. Okay, they often include secure compartments and tamper evident seals. So you have to, again, as the boss of your company, make sure you have proper bags for your equipped vehicle. And you also need cold temperature controlled coolers. So these are insulated coolers for transporting samples of medication that require refrigeration. These are lightweight and portable. The refrigerated coolers, the larger units, use built-in refrigerators or ice pack for maintaining specific temperatures. Dry ice containers for preventing samples that need very low temperatures, like certain vaccinations or tissue specimens. Again, as the boss of your company, you are required to have these things in your equipped vehicle. Another thing you may need is medication and vaccine coolers. This specifically designed for vaccines and temperature sensitive medications. Usually include highly insulated compartments and temperature monitors. Okay, and always carry an emergency and crash kit, first aid supplies, spills cleanup kits, and PPE, gloves, masks, etc. Ensure they are easily accessible in case of emergencies. Okay, so the next slide we are building relationships. That's simple. We are simply creating contacts with people who's in charge of giving you money, meaning forming contracts. So you are contacting local hospitals, clinics, laboratories, pharmacies, and healthcare providers. You are going to these hospitals, you are going to these clinics, you are asking for the person in charge of these places, and you are making an impression because you're introducing yourself and your company, and you are open for business, and these are your prices. Make them want you. Make yourself be remembered. And you may get more no's than yeses at first. That's fine. Make sure you surround yourself with people like seminars, like-minded people who are doing the same thing you're doing, so you can gain information, so you can become more strategic in how you approach these contracts, because they are there. You will receive them. Develop a personal portfolio and marketing materials. So you want to put yourself out there so people can know who you are. Okay? So you must establish protocols and procedures. That is developing a SOP. That stands for Standard Operating Procedures for pickups, deliveries, and handling of sensitive materials. So SOP is basically a step-by-step list of things that are required to be done. Okay, so you are creating that so the driver can know exactly what's required of them and their duties under your umbrella of your company. So there's no fluff for, oh, I didn't know, I had no clue. You will never hear those words because everyone will abide by the standard operating procedures for your company. And that will include pickups, deliveries, and handling of sensitive materials. So you want to ensure compliances with HIPAA and other relevant privacy regulations are met. So you may hire a driver who may not have their HIPAA qualification. In my opinion, I, as a company, would also have these trainings available for all drivers to not only obtain these certifications, but to always keep their certifications active. Okay, so you always want to have an in-house applicable compliance regulation factor that they can refer to, if that made sense. I said a whole lot of words and I don't even know if it made sense, but I'm quite sure you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so you want to implement documentation and tracking systems of chain of custody records. So that basically means from when your driver picks up sample A from hospital A and brings sample A to hospital B, you want to make sure you are aware that this specimen or whatever material is being transported has made it safely, timely, temperature controlled wise from point A to point B in the amount of time and was received in the right hands. So that tracking system may come in a form of you buying software for your company. This is the part of your company where you want to invest a couple of extra dollars because a reliable company is an operational company and an operational company is a profitable company. So you want to make sure that is done and you're checking that off to the to-do list and you're not holding back on spending a couple of dollars on that. Okay, so I just want to briefly discuss the price list. So it's your own prices. So you want to scope out the competition because you want to be competitive while establishing your business. However, you can have in your mind of which you want your business to make. Right? So let's just say for the sake of this example here, we have 5 items on this list and these five items are blood specimen, etc. Those are 5 items. So we can say for each trip, and it's just for the sake of this example, we can say each trip is $50, right? So we know we have a total of 5 items and each trip is $50. So we know at least 5 times, however you calculate that, it's $250. So we know if you want to you say, hey, I want to make $5,000 with my company every week. You know you have to make 20 trips during the week to make $5,000 for your company. So that will net you or gross you, about $20K for the month. Okay, so give or take, you can up that number or down that number. It depends on how you do your pricing list and your payment terms. It's up to you. Okay, so obviously you have to take in consideration that you're paying staff, you're paying gas, and obviously you're paying like miscellaneous items as well. Okay, so explain your client base. You can partner with hospitals, clinics, pharmacies, reach out to new clients regularly through marketing, networking, and referrals. Optimize your routes while you're scheduling. Again, these are all things that will boost your prices because you are that reliable company. Okay, I hope that made sense for you. So again, I just want to put it out there that it's important to market yourself because you have to create a website or online presence. So there's many companies I've noticed that, do not have a website. They only are on social media. They only advertise through social media, and hey, it may work for them. Social media is the new juice now, and this is the way people market their businesses. Is fine. However you choose to, just make yourself present. Make your business present. Market your service, because you have to know that people have to know that you exist. Okay, you cannot just have a LLC sitting dormant. You have an LLC, but now what? You have to actually make it profitable. Okay, so make sure you network within the healthcare community, because obviously you are what? A healthcare industry, sort of say, because you hold hands or you're partners with hospitals and laboratories, etc. That's under the healthcare umbrella. So that's where I would do most of my networking. You know, I wouldn't go to a gym and go on a treadmill and turn around and say, hey, you know, and introduce yourself. Whereas you can just say, be in the doctor's office doing your monthly checkup. Your annual checkup. And you talk to your doctor and ask your doctor, hey, you know, who does your specimen transport? And you can just, you know, market yourself that way, possibly. Okay, so that's just my example of that. Obviously, I'm new to this as well. My LLC has just been created, and I'm not sure how well it would do, but we will see, right? I just want to make sure everyone is aware of staying informed and compliant. You have to keep up with the regulations regarding medical transportation, because regs constantly change throughout the years. You know, sometimes laws change because things happen, or sometimes we change, not sometimes, but we definitely change presidents, you know, every 4 years. So when you change presidents, the Senate, House change, and laws just change. So you always have to stay up to date on the regs and what's applicable to your company. That's so important, because you cannot use the excuse of, oh, I didn't know that this reg changed from 2005. Now it's 2025. It's 20 years later. Where were you? Okay, that's just an example. So we have to stay up to date on the regulations regarding your medical transportation company. And you have to attend industry seminars or join courier associations for networking and education. Again, free information. You can look up this information anywhere and just join, be a part of groups, be social, meet people, put yourself out there, make business cards, hand out these business cards during your seminars, or the carrier associations for networking and education. There's places for these things. There's people for these things. There's people who are eager to meet new people and new companies and new businesses. You know, people willing to give new companies a start, you know, a chance to start. So you will not know if you sit behind a computer and try to figure everything out via computer. Again, I'm not knocking the electronic realm of it all. I want to be transparent and just, you know, feel the need to explain there's nothing like attending in-person things. You get to meet people and people get to meet you. It's just something about familiarity that goes a long way. Okay, but of course it's your company, so you do things how you want to do it. That's just my opinion on the matter. Okay, so last slide we have here is to always track and improve your performance. So you want to keep track of your performance, meaning you want to collect customers' feedback. Number one thing in customer relationship is knowing if you're doing a good job according to the customer. So as an owner, of course, you're going to feel like, hey, I'm receiving money, I'm doing a great job. However, that may not be the case. So you will not know that if you do not collect feedback from the customer, okay? Just monitor delivery time and accuracy, because being a medical courier and the owner of such, you know, it's time sensitive, and it's so important that these materials get from point A to point B in the time that's required. So you cannot have a Uber situation where you receive your food and it's completely cold and you just, report it on the app and complain and they give you a credit. That is not how it will work as a medical courier company. There's no do-overs. There may be people who are waiting for, real things. So it's medical, it's health, meaning that has to do with humans. We cannot mess up. There's no room for error. So if in the event that you do not have any monitoring system where you can monitor delivery accuracy in real time, you have to invest in that, because it hinges on you having a great business versus you having just a company saying you're LLC and you are dwindling on not profiting or seeing profit margin rise. Okay, so continuously refine processes for efficiency and compliance. Okay, so you don't want to be the boss who hovers, but you want to be the boss who hovers, because you want to continuously refine processes for efficiency and compliance. So you're constantly are going to see the best steps to make your company better, however that look. You're the boss, so you want to always continuously refine that process. Okay. Okay, so that was the entire PowerPoint presentation. That was pretty long. If you stayed to the end, I really appreciate you staying to the end with me, and I hope we continue on this journey together, becoming independent carriers, bosses, workers, however it looks. This venture is almost over. I just want to show you the process of acquiring a vehicle for your company and finalizing it all. So you will still see videos of me doing these things, and you always can reach out and ask questions. Feel free, I will answer. I will even have Q&A sessions if you like. You can just request these sessions via comments under the comment section. I'll do the best I can answering these questions. For now, we are finished, and until next time, thank you for listening. Love you guys. Bye.